But whatever. What I actually want to talk about in this episode, it's not hackers, because I've already talked about that concept in the previous one, but myself, because I think I have never really talked about myself before, ever. So, more specifically, I want to firstly kill this person, and then I want to talk about my interest in astronomy. Bet you didn't see, actually you probably did see that coming, because of the title, that sucks. Spoiler. I should have... I don't know, I'm sorry that I spoiled it for you in the title. But anyway, that's what I want to talk about, because recently I have experienced amazing things that I would also love to share with you guys. I don't know if you guys are into science, but astronomy isn't really science. It is also about discovering and exploring. And I've been doing that a lot lately, and I've also found things. I've looked for, I've searched for, and I've found incredible things. So, let me get started by saying that I have been interested in astronomy for as long as I can remember, ever since I was a kiddo. But on my 7th or 8th, no, not birthday, it was during Christmas, I got my own telescope, and that was pretty sick at the time. I just didn't really know what to do with it, because I was still a noob when it came to stars and other things. Is this guy hacking too? Please tell me he's not. He did get killed by his teammate, which is absolutely hilarious. So yeah, I got that telescope, didn't really know what to do with it. My dad helped me a lot with, you know, looking at the moon and things like that. But the moon is awesome, but not really incredible as some other things are. So that was that back when I was young, and about 4 or 5 years ago I really got into it. When I was in 12th grade, I took a university course to study astronomy for a semester alongside my schoolwork, which was awesome fun. I learned most of what I know today from that. Basically it was just reading a textbook and then having a test at the end. But still, I loved it. I loved it. It was super interesting. And then when I was away during the last week, actually last 6 days it was, I visited my parents. They live out in the country, about an hour from where I live. I live in a major city and they live an hour away, driving 70 kilometers or something. And they have amazingly dark skies compared to what I have here, because there's just less light pollution. City lights are really bad if you want to see planets and distant stars, if even galaxies. But the rural sky is amazing. If you're used to the light sky, the city sky, as I am, and you suddenly go out in the middle of nowhere, it's insane, mind-boggling how much you can see. Not just the brightest stars and the end. You actually see, you can see everything basically with your eyes. You can see the light band of whatever. What would the word for that be? Light band of stars, which turns out to be our own galaxy. You can see it clearly across the sky, which you cannot make out at all in the city. There's no freaking way. And it is incredible. And then all these tiny, tiny stars that you can also see. It's beautiful. But on that one day, I think it was Saturday evening. It was Saturday evening. I noticed this really bright star. And I thought to myself, I know the night sky well enough to know that that is probably not a star, but a planet, specifically Venus, because Venus is usually the brightest planet. It's close, and it's very bright. It's got like a surface, not dark or anything, so it glows quite bright. I've been saying that word a little bit too much lately, but whatever, it's true. So I pointed my telescope at it, and sure enough, I saw a tiny marble, a yellow marble. It was yellow on one side, divided in the middle, and dark on the other side. It was like a miniature moon, and it looked incredible, absolutely amazing. Up ahead, not far from that, I saw another dot. It was much, much fainter, but still easy to make out with the eye. I was like, I have a feeling that this could be Jupiter. So I point my telescope, my cheap telescope I've had for freaking 10 years at it. And I see yet another tiny marble. And sure enough, what I was looking at was indeed Jupiter. Not only could I see the bands, the clouds of Jupiter, I could see the moons. 4 moons, the Galilean moons, I could see around the planet, and it looked amazing. It was, I've seen it like back when I was in like archery though, back when I was in like 10th grade, but it meant so much more when I looked at it again than what it used to, because I know much more about it. I know kind of how it works and stuff like that. It was fantastic. So I was like, I've seen Venus tonight, I've seen Jupiter, they were pretty much right next to each other, which, who knows, I may never see in my life again. So I think to myself, is there anything else I could see? Maybe. Maybe Saturn. I've seen Saturn before, many years ago. Saturn is probably the best thing you can see. So I looked up, I knew that it's been like 2 or 3 years since I last saw Saturn, so it really moved relative to the background stars. I saw one dot which was slightly yellowish, if not a little bit red. Could have been Mars, for all I know. Mars is easy to see with the naked eye. But I pointed my telescope at it, and I was blown away to see more than just a dot. I saw Saturn. It was tiny. It was tiny. I was barely able to actually see it, but it was definitely there. It was a yellow marble surrounded by the famous rings, and it was majestic. And let me tell you this. If you randomly look at a dot in the sky with your telescope, you don't know what you're looking at, and you see something like this, it's an incredible moment. Unless you're not into this stuff, but I'm sure anybody would be interested in actually seeing it. There's one thing, seeing this thing on an image, in a book, on the internet.